Here at Suibian Media, we're dedicated to alerting the people to the economic and technological collapse that's happening due to the rise of AI, machine automation, machine learning, and autonomous machines, aka robots. Now, the latest story, we're looking at so-called gig economy. This is on-demand, peer-to-peer apps. Many names for it. They're all the same in the same jungle. These companies, this is Uber, Lyft, Zirx, Luxe, Instacart, Shyp, Favor, a number of companies that they're they rely on an app to connect buyers to sellers, or buyers to service providers, and it's very cheap, and they save money by not owning the employees, the workers, and not owning the equipment, the cars, or the cleaning supplies. They just control all the money that's generated and then pass out a percentage of it back to that worker. So, as we look at this new class, is it transforming the working class or making it obsolete? Well, it should be making it obsolete, but those in power would like to control it, and so they just want to transform it to give the illusion of, everyone's progressing, this economy is recovering, everything's wonderful, everything's dandy, just so they can keep on making their money. Actually, this is an old argument. In 1930, the economist John Maynard Keynes predicted a utopian 15-hour work week within a few generations. Less comfortably, the revolutionary activist and author James Boggs wrote in 1963 that automation and cybernation are shrinking rather than expanding the workforce, and work is becoming socially unnecessary. He concluded, today the creative work of production is being done by the research engineers, the program planners, the scientists, electronic experts. What they are creating is a mode of production which, as long as the present system continues, excludes more and more people from playing any productive role in society. Yes, that's true, because all those people, they work for individual corporations in walled gardens who seek to ensure their own power. Everyone wants to drive the boat, and that's the problem. That's the present system. And so they block and sometimes actively hamper their opponents. They block them with data access. It's all about the data now. And so because there's a reluctance to share, because that would mean sharing profits and sharing money, that's going to exclude more and more people from playing any productive role in society. These companies can use money to attract workers, because it'll allow them to solve a temporary need of money, but the solution really doesn't have, or what these companies are offering really doesn't have any long-term benefits for the employees. And I mean, as like companies like Amazon and Apple, where they their store and ship their products. Journalist Mac McClelland made this clear in a Mother Jones article, saying, "The place is immense, cold, cavernous, silent, despite thousands of people quietly doing their picking, or standing along the conveyors, quietly packing or box taping. Nothing noisy, but the occasional whir of a passing forklift. My scanner tells me in what exact section. There are 9 merchandise sections, so sprawling that there's a map attached to my ID badge. A vast shelving system. The item I'm supposed to find resides. It also tells me how many seconds it thinks I should take to get there." These companies, like those which sell the services of drivers, cleaners, or delivery people, can rely on the pressure of millions of unemployed people to keep workers stuck in jobs with low pay and unsafe, humiliating conditions. Yeah. Humiliating is what we want to point out, because the next step for these companies like Zirx and Luxe, those are, what a joke. 2 on-demand valet parking. A lot of new cars, it's mainly luxury cars that they put this tech into, but in software. But even Tesla is 90%, 95% autonomous, and it's almost to the point to where you can, or the car will park itself and then meet you when you're done autonomously. So then what good is Luxe and Zirx? Well, those would only be helpful for people who don't have such expensive vehicles. So it's the middle class helping the middle class. Shyp, same thing. This is on-demand shipping. Pretty much, that's like FedEx trying that. And if any of these companies if any of the leaders of these companies would have learned anything from history, if they would know anything, Curtis Lee of Luxe, Sean Baer of Zirx, Pura Mehta of Instacart, Kevin Gibbon of Shyp, Travis Kalanick of Uber, and Bastian Lehman of Postmates. Alright, here you go. Let me make this easy for you guys. Look, FedEx has been trying this, and they've been trying this for a long time. FedEx has been in this game way before you guys. And they tried to save money and classify their employees as contractors, and yeah, you're running your own business, you're independent. And while FedEx is really wanting to save on healthcare benefits, unemployment insurance, they don't want to have to pay 401ks or overtime. But you know what? In the end, the courts and ultimately these workers saw this for what this really is, a sham to the American worker. And this one guy got about $90,000 for his as part of the settlement against FedEx. But this is just one of thousands of cases. Many cases happen like this, and FedEx just continued to fight these drivers, because it's probably cheaper to just go ahead and pay each driver their $50,000 to $100,000 in damages, and the rest are too complacent or too unorganized, and they have workers will never self-organize to be able to take away our profits. It's all about the money. So yeah, be looking for that in the future. These companies will start to proactively reclassify their employees, making it look like they're really looking out for the employee. And a lot of them are going to say, oh no, it wasn't because of Uber. They were just waiting to see what happened with Uber before they made the decisions themselves. And now that they see, it took them a long time to learn. But now that they see which way the courts are going to rule, they're beginning to offer employee status to some of their workers. Instacart is not offering it to the drivers, it's only offering it to the personal shoppers who actually pick the groceries. The drivers, they could care less about. Those guys will be automated out in less than 5 years. Just done. And because we like to tie this back into the government takeover and collapse of the American government, this is feeding into the Synthetic Environment for Analysis and Simulation, SEAS. This is used by the Homeland Security and the U.S. Department of Defense to simulate crisis on the U.S. mainland. The Sentient World Simulation is the name given to the current vision of making SEAS a continuously running, continually updated mirror model of the real world that can be used to predict and evaluate future events and courses of action. So use your imagination to figure out what that means. And if you are having trouble with that, that means recreating reality in a computer. But before you can recreate it, you have to gather the inputs. You have to gather all that data before you can recreate it. And so all these programs, as they develop autonomous driving, they're going to use the data that's ripped from these autonomous cars, like or drones, whether it's Amazon shipping drones or Shyp shipping drones or Google autonomous cars. All that data will be fed into here, and that's what happens when these companies are top down, operate in secret, and you build these walled gardens. It's easy for the government to come in and slip in little moles and siphon out that data, and then the founders can claim, oh no, we didn't know that the government was doing this, so we were just as shocked as you were. But it's all lies, and shoot, they would say anything to get some of that black budget money. just take a couple $1 billion to shut up. So yeah, we'll be looking at this more as we delve further into the technological collapse of humans. Not just America. This is a global problem. This is a species problem. But Suibian Media is dedicated to the solutions. We will find a way out of this. We will develop tools, and we will develop our own companies that counter capitalistic, top-down driven companies like Uber and Instacart and Lyft. We need to find companies that champion employee-owned stock ownership plans. And with your help, we will create the best employee and consumer-owned company that does all of this stuff. Autonomous cars, getting your groceries delivered, your medicine, but the money will go back to the communities that they operate in, and the data will be freely available to all who want to use it. Stay tuned for more tech updates from Suibian Media.